Once again, here's our news to bring you up to speed. See what I did there in all things sim racing. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to a regular news roundup. If you have any news for us, send us a mail to news@romrom.net. Thanks for watching, my name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. What? News? Sorry, too busy racing Brno on Race Room to do anything else. Yeah, at last Brno is out. Oh, and if you even remotely have anything to do with Fanatec, you should have gotten your mail about the CSL Direct Drive pre-order by now. It seems that while some special people already got the thing in and by itself, most normal people will start getting it from September on. Some of our racing buddies got an expected delivery time of November. Merry Christmas? Available only for those brave enough to test unreleased versions, the newest rFactor 2 release candidate brings the so-called screen space reflection technology we already talked about, see the link up there, that brings amongst others more accurate graphics to wet tracks. Studio 397 have also worked on cloud rendering and lighting. rFactor 2 will now remember passwords for servers if you want it, and has a faster user interface, but it still has a long way to go, and it will load the server list much faster. First-time users will get a slew of helps, most notably amongst them a calibration wizard, but also a recommendation which subset of content they may want to add to the sim right away to start racing. It seems the 2 hours plus of loading all content on the first day are gone, which is a good thing. With regards to broadcast, not only can we add the DRS status to the overlays, but also RPM, speed, gear, and most importantly, pedal inputs. That should make the infos, especially when we're showing the cockpit, much more interesting. One thing you should keep in mind if you're using the release candidate is that you won't be able to participate in the normal competition system, as it seems the changes have made the public competition system and this year incompatible to each other. Studio 397 are planning on setting up servers specially for those testing the release candidate. These are only a couple out of a long list of changes. If you're interested in the details, we have the link to the release notes, as always, in the description. Because the news last week were so long, we moved the sim ranking news to this week. There is no big movement. On the other hand, Assetto Corsa is growing steadily and is still the most used sim of them all, save for BeamNG. Although last month not by that much, as the number for BeamNG dropped from 5,900 to 5,300 average daily users against the 4,900 average users of Assetto Corsa. One thing that surprised me was that despite the constant news around Automobilista 2 and the first Racing USA DLC, the average number of users actually dropped. While not by much, as the numbers were small to begin with, they still did drop. Word hasn't gotten around yet how good of a job Reiza did. Or they are waiting for the Steam sale due sometime around the 24th of June? It will be also interesting to see if and how the numbers will change once the number of vaccinated people grows and the summer starts spreading warmth, both things leading to people being out more often. Also, how it will change as more and more motorsport series find normality, you know, tires blowing up and all that. It had gotten quiet around Drift 21, but that may have been because the developers were finishing the work on the full launch. While the price is €25 USD, until this Thursday you will still be able to buy it for €20 USD. Drift 21 now offers 12 cars, including the most beloved Mazda MX-5, Subaru BRZ, BMW E46 M3 and Nissan 350, and will let you drift in 8 Ibiza tracks, as well as Koszalin in Poland, which I hope I didn't mispronounce too badly, and different oval tracks converted into drift stadiums. Of course, the garage stays, as do the existing 7 single-player and 5 multiplayer modes. Let 'em smoke, people! While I personally am surprised at how popular this game's franchise is, its popularity is a fact and the game is still going strong in its version 22. And we suppose, and rather hope, marketing stuff like Collector's Edition with your own beacon light are not what makes it popular. It may be more the new ways to play this game, like the introduction of production change where you yourself will be the one selling your products to the shops, but before that you have to set up the industry to do that. SimCity Farming Simulator or something like that. Added to the already existing maps will come 2 new US maps, as the developers say, quote-unquote, inspired by the Midwest. Gentlemen, gentlewomen, start your tractors! Well, with big updates come lots of bug reports, I suppose, but version 1.2.0.5 does bring more than just bug fixes because Reiza. It seems the most bug fixes are in the championship editor, and if you already have a custom championship saved before this version, it seems it won't work after the update. The weather forecast at the beginning of a session will now make it clear if the real weather technology is using historic data or a current weather forecast, and you'll get a warning if Automobilista 2 could not find any weather data. They've also corrected a lot of errors in the vehicle information display. Of course, they are introducing changes in the physics with this update, changing tire physics to the levels of tire treads, I kid you not, correcting brake physics, aerodynamics in diffusers, undertrays and overall, and as was to be expected, a myriad of other things including fuel tank sizes for some of the cars. The details can be found in the release notes that we have, as always, linked in our description. Be ready for a very detailed read though, it's Reiza we're talking about. They've also polished part of the sound as well as corrected and updated some tracks and vehicles. It seems they are continuously fixing and correcting the physics, and that every change they have to publish those they do, because the bulk of the changes in this update seems not to be bug fixes, but physics. We don't do bug fixes, but videos, a lot of them, and you can watch them all by checking the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.